Good stuff.
Maybe we'll wash a bunch of people out. That'd be the best thing.
Well, a bunch of realtors have dropped out.
That'd be the best thing could happen to us.
Yeah.
Lose about half of them. All right.
Stand by, segment 4.
But we're going to wrap.
Money in the bank.
Rates are good. Pretty exciting.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the program. Thanks for staying with us. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. This is the money segment of the program with Kelvin Kaemingk, 651-231-2500. 651-231-2500. Get those great rates as great as it can. Hey, they're great. It's all relative, right?
It's all relative. Yep. So give me a real quick recap of the real estate market as we just start the segment because we get this out.
The recap of the real estate market is frozen in place.
Okay.
The good news is stable as can be.
Okay.
Properties coming on the market, properties going off the market. The buyer mix has changed a little bit to more of a need-based move,
Okay.
Which is actually something that we've built our whole business on. So for us, it's just like, I love this market because people are moving. I could always use more volume.
Yep.
But, it's still a great market for those who need to move.
Yep. Yeah, I think then that's what we're seeing as well. What problems did you solve this week? Give me a quick, we always do, what problem did you solve so people kind of hear what
My
you're
problem
dealing
I
with?
solved this week is I got another vehicle.
Nice work.
That was a problem.
Good job.
Need that in the real estate business.
Need that in the real estate business, and totaled out the old vehicle, and finally got it replaced with a new vehicle, and it's amazing how much time that takes up.
Mm-hmm.
Chasing around, looking at. That's
But you got her done.
Got her
and
done.
some really nice interior.
Yeah, it's
Red
very
interior.
Very
nice.
Not pink.
Not red.
Not red. Not
A
red.
burgundy-ish.
Yeah. What do they call it?
Not pink.
Not pink. No,
Yeah,
thank
not
God.
pink. Not pink.
It's a baseball glove interior.
Baseball glove interior. I guess.
It's pretty handsome in
What
my opinion.
What'd you solve this week?
So I actually had a showing on a property that was my listing, and I got a call from the buyer's agent and said the carpet was wet in the basement.
Okay.
I was super
Hate that.
nervous about it because last year they had water come in when a sump pump failed.
Okay.
And so they made an insurance claim and all this stuff. And so we got the basement dialed in. Looks super nice. New carpet paint, all the stuff. Totally dried out, everything taken care of. And I thought, crap, something's wrong with the sump pump again.
Okay.
And if you remember, last week was cold. So a lot of the water was near the HVAC system in the basement.
Okay.
And I was like, could it possibly be the AC coil froze up in the house? But the previous week, it was 85, 88 degrees, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
okay.
it was that. It ended up being the A coil in the furnace
Wow.
was dirty.
Yep.
A lot of times if you don't change your furnace filter a lot or run your HVAC
Right.
without a filter, your A coil will get dirty from dust and pets and whatever. And then it'll clog up your A coil from breathing. And then it'll start to form ice if it's just bumping, right?
Mm-hmm.
I totally didn't even consider. I mean, I didn't think it could have been that because it was 50 degrees outside.
Right.
But that's when it thawed because it stopped running.
Stopped running so it could.
And so it thawed out.
The drain line was
The
plugged.
heat turned on. And the drain was plugged, and so it ended up leaking all over the floor. The water was inconsequential. It ended up not being a lot of water. They stepped in a little bit, at the entry door of the the mechanical room, and it just was not a big deal ultimately. But that's $3,000 to replace and repair. So we got right guys in there to take care of that job, and we verified the sump pump is properly working.
Nice.
Just to double check all that. So we solved that problem.
So what do you do?
On the
So
fly.
tell me what you do. I saw a house where they have a sump pump and everything, but the lid over top of it completely it's all plastic.
Sealed?
And then it's all sealed. So
Yeah.
how do you know if the sump pump's even working until you have a problem?
Well, you can test them. So there's
How are you
two
gonna test
plugs
that?
that go in. You can and then they get plugged in usually in a designated outlet that's right next to it.
Okay.
So there's a plug and a plug. One
Okay.
plug plugs into the plug, and then the plug plugs into the wall. If you unplug the plug from the outlet and pull the plug off the plug that was in the outlet and then put that plug into the wall outlet,
Yep.
it'll start the pump. So it's so there's
it's like a timer switch.
Yeah, the one plug is switched to the ball float that's in the sump pit.
Okay.
And then the other one's just a constant on. So you can jump them and then run it.
Okay.
So if anybody needs help with their sump pumps, they can call me because I know all about
You
them.
know all about them now.
I know,
Apparently,
it's great.
There's a lot of things that you end up knowing all about after 20 years of working with inspections and real
That's
estate.
great.
So.
Good job. So we had what problem I solved this last week is pulling off an event that we did for the real estate community on renovation loans. We had a good, missed you there. Should have been there. Senior was there.
I was there. It was really interesting.
So we started with Barry Habib, which is 3 crystal balls by Zillow and all the real estate and mortgage industry in terms of being the best predictor of markets. So he gave us about a 7-minute summary of here's what's going on in the market, and just be also saying, hey, good job talking about renovation loans. We'll get into that a little bit, but some of the things he hit on is just that inventory is tight, values will continue to go up. So the pushing the point, making a move now is not a bad thing, because that the inventory is going to just continue to be tight, so values will continue to go up.
So making a move right now is not a bad thing in terms of where valuation is, correct?
Correct. Yep. And rates are a little
so
higher.
So if your
but we'll
concern
come down.
is that the market's going to take a dump, don't be.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. For sure. He talked about there's 3 million fewer homes now on the market than there were back in because he compared everything back to the 2008, 2009 during the crisis, the housing crisis. There's 3 million less homes on the market than then.
So this isn't the same.
Nope, not
the same at all.
And 6.8% appreciation this year. Really still good.
Really good. Yeah, it's high actually.
So that's really good. Interest rates he talked about, when inflation comes down, but he talked a lot about, he's pretty critical on just, the Fed looks at everything through the rear view mirror, and they want to get the core inflation down to about 2%. And he said if you peel everything back, we're just about there. And then he got into the jobs number, kind of tore that apart of last week, that it said 336,000 new jobs, but really there was a loss of, what do you say, 885,000 jobs were lost actually. And it's a seasonal adjustment that they do. And so he said it's an accounting move, not a hero high five, And the jobs that they are seeing come on, it's full-time jobs being lost to part-time jobs, and then people picking up an additional part-time job because
they need to make some money.
They need to make money.
Right.
So actually, the thing on employment was pretty sobering to me because that wasn't great. But he said he thought rates would maintain. Now the stuff that's going on in Israel, and you see some of the war stuff come up. That again, while it's horrible what's going on, it typically would tick rates down, and it did for about 2 days because there's fear. When there's fear, people go to safety. But he said that's something that could potentially cause rates to come a little bit. And we saw 2 days in a row, we saw a little bit of a drop, and then yesterday popped right back up with core inflation, again. And they're measuring, again, rear view mirror, but they're measuring the wrong things. Or not the wrong things, just they look backwards. So his outlook,
and selective, they're selective about what they're including.
Well, for sure, right? And he was, said, hey, in the next 6 months, we're going to see rates, we're going to trend down, but, it's going to be a little bit yet, 6 months to a year. And I think as we go into the election year and all that, we'll see all sorts of crazy stuff.
Shenanigans going on there.
Well, you even see it, even I was amazed we don't have enough time to get into the whole politics thing, but even, Robert Kennedy Jr. now going independent has 17, yesterday the poll, he had 17% of he'll have enough support to get on the stage with Biden and Trump if those are the two nominees, and he will cook those guys.
Yeah.
And
what he's going to do is pull. If he's not an independent though.
He's claiming to be independent though. I think.
Well, he filed as independent, but
he's
left leaning.
Yep, left leaning, but man, he's not. I mean, I listened to a 3-hour interview with him and Joe Rogan. Fascinating.
Very good. Yeah,
perspective. So not to get off on that tangent, but I just think there's a lot of things that are going to be shifting and moving around. Give me your feedback real quick on the renovation stuff you learned.
You know what I found? As we were talking with Mike, we were talking about doing the exterior painting. It's like that could be a renovation refi.
Right there.
Right there.
Yep.
Renovation loan refi. Take care of all that painting. Get my enameling done. Get all that stuff done. Renovation refi.
And then you can go from 3% to
I can go from 3% to 9%. That'd be great.
Yeah, cash out, get them right under 9.
Yeah, But the point of it is that the options are there for people who choose to stay in their home.
Yep.
They were going to buy, not going to buy. I like where I live. I like the house. I've got a lot of stuff I can do, and then they're always saying, well, now I got to go out and get a second mortgage or go out and get. You can do renovation refi. I didn't know that you could even do that.
Yeah.
And
even for people when you're seeing a house and you're going, God, I like the bones of this thing, but there's so much I would do. Don't walk away from that house. It's crazy when he was showing pictures of the ones. As long as you leave the foundation, the firehouses, the water damage house, leave the foundation, rebuild the whole thing. Go up another story. There's everything we can do. There's a reason we're the number one renovation lender in the country, and Milton runs that. And you can see just on him presenting for an hour and a half, you kind of see the why. So if you have questions about renovation, reverses, what's going on in the market, it all starts with a conversation. And you can always reach me at 651-231-2500, 651-231-2500. And Junior, you want to take us out and say good things about me? Go ahead.
Calvin's the best at what he does, and I'll echo his phone number one more time.
Thanks, Mike.
Say it slowly, 651-231-2500. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Keith Sr. And I'm Keith Jr. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. Log on to our website, hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com. See you next week.
You've been listening to your Real Estate Chalk Talk.